Welcome to the explainer. Okay, let's be honest. Buying a big home appliance, a fridge, a washer, it can feel like you're navigating a jungle, right? There are so many features, so many brands, and these really confusing payment plans. Well, don't worry. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. I mean, it's true, isn't it? You walk into a store, or you just open a website, and bam, you are just drowning in options. You've got refrigerators that practically talk to you, washing machines with a million different cycles. It's just completely overwhelming. And look, this is a big ticket item. You're going to live with this thing for years, so that pressure to make the absolute right choice, it's huge.
But what if there was a clear path through all that chaos? Well, that's exactly what we're going to give you today. We've broken it all down into a super simple framework. It's designed to take you from feeling totally confused to being a completely confident owner. So, let's dive in. All right, first things first. And this is probably the most important step of all. It happens before you even glance at a single price tag. Before you get all dazzled by that shiny stainless steel or a big flashy sales sticker, you have got to define your mission. What is this machine's actual job in your house?
And this is all about your reality, right? So seriously, get out the measuring tape. How much physical space do you actually have? How big is your family? How many loads of laundry are you doing every week? You know, answering these questions first is what stops you from buying a machine that's way too big or too small or, and this happens, one that you literally can't get through the front door.
Okay, let's take washing machines. Here, you've got a pretty fundamental choice to make. The front loader? That's usually your efficiency champ. It uses way less water and heats its own. But then you have the top loader. It's often got a bigger capacity, uses hot water right from your tap, and usually washes a bit faster. See? It's that classic trade-off. Long-term savings versus speed and convenience right now.
And with freezers, you've got a similar but different trade-off. A chest freezer, that thing is an energy-saving workhorse. See, cold air sinks, so when you open the lid, less of it escapes. That makes it cheaper to run. An upright freezer, on the other hand, is all about convenience. It's got shelves, finding that one bag of frozen peas doesn't turn into a full-on archaeological dig. So you have to ask yourself, what matters more to me? Lower electricity bills or finding my stuff easily?
Now for stovetops, this one really boils down to your personal cooking style. Gas gives you that instant, super responsive heat control that so many cooks just love. Plus, it's generally cheaper to run. But on the other side of the coin, you've got electric and induction, and they really win on safety and how easy they are to clean. An induction cooktop, for example, is amazing. It only heats the pan itself, so the surface stays cool to the touch. That is a massive safety feature, especially if you have kids.
Okay, so you figured out your mission, you know the type of machine you need. Now it's time to actually compare the different models out there. This is where we start decoding those spec sheets to figure out which features actually matter and which ones are just hype.
So here's a tip that can save you some serious cash over the life of your appliance. The layout. Believe it or not, a fridge's design has a direct impact on how much energy it uses. You can see it right here. Those really sleek-looking side-by-side models, they often gobble up way more electricity than a good old-fashioned fridge with the freezer on the top or the bottom. It seems like a small choice, but it has a big, long-term effect on your wallet.
And it's not just about energy use. You really want to think about features that are going to give you back your time and your sanity. A frost-free freezer? That means you never have to manually defrost a thing again. A self-cleaning oven saves you hours of horrible scrubbing. Child-safe locks, alarms that tell you when a door's been left open. These aren't just silly bells and whistles. No way. These are real, tangible improvements to your day-to-day life.
Okay, so you found it. The perfect machine. Awesome. But how are you going to pay for it without getting hit with any nasty surprises? This is where we need to master the money.
Listen, here is a pro tip, and this could save you a major headache. The price on the sticker, it is almost never the final price. You absolutely have to ask about the extras. Is there a charge for delivery? What about installation? Any admin fees if you want a payment plan? Getting all those numbers right up front is what keeps you from getting that horrible sticker shock when you go to pay.
Now, you're probably going to see this option, so let's make it super clear. A lay-by is a pretty straightforward deal. You pay for it in chunks and installments, and the store just holds on to the item for you. As soon as you make that final payment, boom, you get to take it home. The big benefit here, zero interest charges.
Now, an installment sale, that's a different beast altogether. With this, you pay a deposit and you get to take the appliance home right away, but, and this is a really big but, you are basically taking out a loan.
You're going to be paying off the rest of that balance over time, and that balance is going to include interest and probably other fees. That means the total amount you pay in the end will be higher, sometimes a lot higher.
So let's just break down these options real quick. Paying with cash or a debit card, that's the simplest path. You own it right away, no debt, easy. A lay-by is great because you avoid interest, but the catch is you have to wait to get your hands on it. And then there's credit or an installment plan. You get that instant gratification, but you have to be so careful and watch out for those high interest rates that can just balloon the final price.
All right, we are on the home stretch. You've picked your machine, you've figured out how to pay for it. This last section is all about the final crucial steps to make sure your purchase goes off without a hitch, right to the very end.
Look, your job isn't over the second that delivery truck pulls away. Before that delivery team leaves, you need to inspect that appliance for any damage, any dings, any scratches, and then, please, read the instruction manual before you plug it in. I know, but you'd be surprised what you might learn. And finally, find a safe spot for your receipt, your warranty, all that paperwork. Knowing your rights and having the documents to prove them, that is your ultimate protection. And just like that, our journey is over. Think about it. By defining your mission, decoding the specs, mastering the money, and running that final check, you've gone from just another shopper to a smart, confident owner. The power is completely in your hands now. So go out there and find the machine that doesn't just fit in your kitchen or your laundry room, but one that truly fits your life. Thanks for watching The Explainer.